This season has been a very fuck you. This season has been a very, very interesting one when it comes to racing and the schemes itself. I have not made a single top 10 or 15 favorite paint schemes video since 2021. That's honestly because I just didn't really feel any drive to make another one after 2022 and 23. But now that I've seen the poll that people really want me to make another one, we'll go ahead and do it. So here are my top 15 favorite paint schemes from 2024. I shouldn't really be saying this since most of you should know, but all these are just my opinion. If you disagree with a car that I rank low or high, feel free to let me know, but just don't pull a gun on my head. And number 15 on the list, I mean, it is kind of expected for it to be here. Number 15, we have Alex Bowman's 2024 Ally Primary Scheme. Just really like the design on it. I really wish he would have won the Daytona 500 with this scheme, but it ended up being a really stupid finish anyway, so it doesn't really matter. At least he won Chicago. Anyways, let's move on to number 14 on the list. And number 14, I think some people will disagree with this one. It is Tyler Reddick's Beast paint scheme. I'm going to be honest. I hated the new Toyota and how it looked. There's not going to be that many Toyotas on this list. But just this scheme, it is one of the few that stood out to me, to be honest. I mean, there are some other ones, like Martin Truex Jr.'s final ride at Phoenix, but that one's a throwback, so it technically doesn't count. I don't know if anyone's going to really hate me for saying that about Toyota, but I just hated how the nose looked and such. I think the old Camry was like one of the best next-gen cars out there. Anyways, moving on. Number 13, you have Chase Elliott's primary Napa scheme. Really like the blue on it, really like how all the design is, but nothing too outstanding, pretty good in my opinion. Would like to quickly get by that one. I don't really think there's anything else to say. This video is going to be really short in case any of you didn't know. Next up on the list in number 12, I rarely see people talk about this scheme. Really, really like it. Really wish he would have raced in the Coke 600, but we all know how that turned out. Anyways, this is Kyle Larson's 2024 Coca-Cola 600 and Indianapolis scheme. Really like the design on it. It's better than his primary scheme, but really love the blue and the orange and how they contrast each other. The first forward on the list is Brad Keselowski's Next Lizette scheme that he ran in the All-Star race and should have ran in more races. This thing is amazing. I am kind of pissed that Eric Estep didn't have this on his top 24 schemes, but then again, that list is complete balls anyway, so we'll just move on. Really love the design on it. Just love how the colors contrast each other. I know it's an all-star race scheme, but I don't give a fuck. Joining the top 10 now, we have Ross Chastain's Worldwide Express scheme that he ran at Texas and should have won. Another one I'm kind of shocked not many people talk about. Really I've always loved this car every year it's ran, so it doesn't really shock me that it's in my top 10, but yeah. Moving on to number 9. Kind of felt it was a necessity to put this one in here, especially in 9th place. But number 9, you have Chase Elliott's best scheme of the year, in my opinion. Hooters car that he ran at Texas and won. How ironic. Chastain and Elliott's car were back to back. Anyways, just really love the design on it. I know some people probably think the Napa car is, but this is my list and my opinion, so don't get butthurt over it, please. I don't want a gun being pointed in my head again. At number 8 on the list, you have Alex Bowman's Nashville scheme. Just really love the design on it. Every time they go to Nashville, Ally always brings out their best schemes of the year, so. Number 7 on the list, you have William Byron's Red Exalta scheme that he ran at Martinsville and won in. That was a terrible race. Did not like any portion of it. I only recorded the end of it mainly because I thought it was special that he was winning. Really like how the red goes in. I think this car is a bit overrated, but still really, really like it. Anyways, moving on. 6th place, you have Brad Keselowski's number 6 car that he ran at the Daytona 500. This one is another one that is criminally underrated. I fucking love this one. Just love how the black contrasts with the green and red. And it's kind of ironic that this video is coming out in December. Love this design. Some people probably think it should be higher. And don't worry, there will be another Brad Keselowski car. But I'm going to be honest, some of these Brad Keselowski schemes are kind of, the Busher ones as well are kind of like tied with it, but I personally think the 6 just looks better with them. Anyways, let's move on now. Now joining in the top 5, I kind of felt it was a necessity to put this one in here, especially since HSR is gone. Josh Berry's Sunny D car, just, what can you say? I mean, Sunny D always brings out some of the best schemes ever, so all you really have to say, I mean, Sunny D always brings out a bunch of bangers, so yeah. 4th place on the list is one that I think probably some people will disagree with, since it's a retro scheme, but I don't really care. If Eric Kisa puts it in his video, I don't give a fuck. Anyways, you have Ross Chastain's retro Busch car that he ran at Darlington. This one should have won, but we all know how that race turned out. Love the design on it. Love the paint scheme. One of my favorites of the season. Anyways, let's get up to your top 3. And once we get after second, we'll be in your honorable mentions. So here we go, boys. Number 3 on the list is Brad Kozlowski's BuildSubmarines.com car. Just another one that is criminally underrated. More people should put it on their list, but it doesn't matter. It's their opinion. But in my opinion, this is definitely one of the highlights of the year in terms of paint schemes. Just fucking amazing. Let's move on to your top 2, and then the honorable mentions right after we get done with second place. And I think a lot of people are going to really disagree with me with what I put in second. In second place, you have Christopher Bell's Mobile One scheme. 10 out of 10 for me. I love literally everything about it, but there's one issue, and the scheme really can't control it. It's really just how the Toyota looks. I guarantee you if this is on the 2023 Camry or really any other Camry, like, this will be first place, no doubt. I kind of feel like it's tied with first place, so technically you could say this is a winner. I think I'm one of the few people, along with my friends, that really just hated how the Toyota Camry looked. And funny enough, this is one of the few schemes where I thought maybe the Toyota Camry will look pretty good. And then we saw Denny Hamlin's scheme he ran at the Clash, and I'm like, okay, yeah, this is a one-off. I would say this one kind of ties in first, because I really was spending all week deciding between the two. But anyways, let's move on to your honorable mentions. First on the list is Bubba Wallace's Grimace car that he ran at Iowa. Really like it. Nothing else to say. It does give me nightmares, though. Up next on the list, you have Daniel Suarez's Freeway car. Just love this scheme. I'm happy he won at Atlanta in this thing. Another scheme I kind of felt was a necessity to at least include, but it was once again harmed by how the Toyota looks. It's mainly Christopher Bell's Interstate Batteries car he ran at Vegas for the spring. Really, really like the designs on it. And then the Gen 6, this would have been in the top 5, but damn next gen. Up next, you have Austin Cindric's Gateway car, Freightliner car to be specific. The design is amazing. I think this made the top 3 in the 2021 video. Love the design on it. Let's move on to the last car in the honorable mentions. And this is not like honorable mentions based on ranking them and where they would have been. This is mainly just me randomly putting them in the video. But anyways, next up, kind of felt like it was another necessity. Chase Briscoe's Darlington car that he won in. We all know Kyle Busch had the fastest car, but Dirty Air harmed him. Loved the design on his car, and I kind of felt like it was a necessity to have at least another SHR car in their final year. Let's move on to what I think, and you guys are really going to disagree with me on. Number 1 on the list is Ross Chastain's Busch Light scheme that he ran in the Daytona 500. This scheme, I really wish it would have won the Daytona 500, because I would have bought the diecast for it. This scheme is just damn near perfection for me. It is, like I said, kind of linked up with the Mobile One scheme. I'm be honest, I did kind of make this video a little rushed, so maybe down the year we'll probably just keep swapping between what I personally think the best scheme of the year was. But as recording this video, I personally think Ross Chastain had the best scheme. Love the design on it. It looks fucking amazing. All I really gotta say. This scheme just has a very special place in my heart on how I feel about it. Well, folks, thank you guys so much for watching, and make sure to stay tuned for what I think are the worst schemes of 2024 very soon. Thank you, folks, so much for watching. Have a good December. Stay tuned.